Hi everyone, and welcome to Belinda's DIYs. Today I'm going to be creating 5 Christmas home decor ideas. So let's go ahead and get started. For this first project, I'm going to be using 2 of these glass candle holders from Dollar Tree. And also from Dollar Tree, I'll be using 2 of these candles from Sure Scents in the scent Apple Cinnamon. And for some decoration, I'll be using 2 of these small red ornaments. I'll also be using some faux snow and also some baker's twine in the red and white. This project is going to be so super duper easy. So all I'm going to do is wrap some of this baker's twine around the top of the candle holder as you see me do there, and then I'll be tying a knot on the side. I went ahead and I left a string long enough because I'll be hanging my Christmas ornament on there, and all I'm going to do is just thread the twine through the top of the ornament and then just tie it. I'll be doing the same thing to the second glass candle holder. And now I'm just going to pour some of that faux snow and I'm just going to fill it 1/3 of the way. And lastly, I'm going to take this red candle and I'm going to slip it inside my candle holder as you see me do right there. And there you have it, a super easy home decor. I will be making another one because I do want these as a set. For this second DIY, I'm going to be using these Dollar Tree Christmas large ornaments, and these are the ones that have the metal up at the top. I'll also be using these decals that I made on my Cricut, and I also will be using this beaded garland from Hobby Lobby, and I got this at half price, so it was about $4 and change. Now I know that making a beaded garland is very easy to make, but I was lazy and I just wanted to purchase one already made. I started off by first removing the top metal portion of my ornament using my small spatula. And I'll be doing the same thing to the other 2. Next I'll be using some of this Waverly chalk paint in the color white, and I'm going to paint the back side of my ornament. And I'll be doing the same thing to these other 2. Now that the paint has dried, I'm going to go ahead and glue back the metal portion of the ornament using some hot glue. And now I'm going to go ahead and place my first decal, and then I'll move on to the other 2 and place the decals on them. And now they read fa la la. Now I was going to leave my ornaments as is, but then I just decided to go ahead and add some of this greenery and berries to them. And basically all I did was just cut off those green leaves and then place one on each side, and then in the center add the berries. And I'll just repeat the same steps to the other 2 ornaments. And lastly, I'll be using some of this twine to tie my ornaments to my garland. For this next easy DIY, I'm going to be using 3 of these Dollar Tree white ceramic vases. Now when I saw these, I was just really stunned because they are so pretty. You really don't have to do much to them. So I'll be using these 3, and I'll also be using this greenery that I also found at Dollar Tree, and these I believe are new because I didn't see them last year. And I'll also be using these frosted berries, also from Dollar Tree, and some twine. I'll also be using these red and white pipe cleaners, and I purchased these at Hobby Lobby. So what I'm going to do with these pipe cleaners is create some letters, a J, an O, and a Y. So I'm just going to show you how I created them instead of me actually explaining, because I don't think I'll do a good job. So just go ahead and take a look at how I created the letters. And so here I start off by creating the letter J. It's pretty easy. The next letter is the Y. And I decided to make a bigger O because the one I originally made was too small. Okay, so now that I have all my letters, I'm going to go ahead and add some hot glue to the back side of the letters and then glue them onto my ceramic vases. And now you have these 3 vases that spell out joy. And the next thing that I'm going to do to the vases is wrap some twine around the top, as you see me do there, and I'll be doing the same thing to the other 2. And now I'm just going to fill my vases with the greenery and also the red berries. For this last DIY, I'm going to be using 3 of these tin vases from Dollar Tree. I'll also be using some of these holly bouquets, and these are also from Dollar Tree. And some nautical rope. And some ribbon. I'll also be using 3 of these Dollar Tree Christmas ornaments. Okay, so I wanted to show you that I will be making a hole in the center of my tin vases. Now here I'm showing you that I've already done that to these 2. So I had to make them big enough to where my nautical rope would fit through them. So I made these holes by using a screwdriver and a hammer. Now I did not have a drill that had a drill bit big enough to make the hole that I needed. So what I just did is I continued to make little holes around the center of the hole until I created one big hole, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut a piece of the nautical rope, and as you can see, it's folded in half. So if I put it against a measuring ruler, it measures a little over 12 inches, give or take. The next thing that I did is I made a knot, as you see me do right there. And once I was done knotting it nice and tight, I went ahead and I passed the top part of my loop through the hole. And I also cut the excess rope off. I will be doing the same thing to the other 2 tin vases. Next, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue my ornament onto my nautical rope, as you see me do right there, because it's going to serve as a bell. If you haven't guessed it already, these are going to be bells. I'll be doing the same thing to the other 2. Next, what I'm going to do is take another piece of nautical rope and just loop it through all my loops. and I will loop it and then knot it and then go to the second one and knot it and then go to the third one and knot it. So that way I have them all tied to that one rope. And here I'm just giving you a better visual as to how they look. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is take each of these bouquets and I'm gonna tie it onto my rope, and I'll be using some zip ties for that. And this is how they look once I tied all my bouquets to my rope. And then lastly, I made 2 bows and I also added some tails, and I hot glued all this onto my rope. Well, that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and also share. I'd really appreciate it. You have yourself a blessed day. And remember, love, laugh, and create. Until my next video, bye-bye and God bless.